Oh, good evening, and welcome to All Ports Motorsports Supercars NZ V8 Championship. This is round 9 of the V8s, and my name's Doug. We're in the awesome broadcasting lounge, comfy chairs, headphones on, microphones up, staring at the big screen. Sitting beside me at an arm's distance, ready to tap beers, Shane White. How we going?
Yeah, good, thanks, Doug. Sitting back watching some V8 action tonight. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. And not only do we get to see the V8s smashing around tonight, they're going around a very famous V8 circuit at Winton Motor Raceway.
They certainly are, and we'll give the people at home a bit of a view of the racetrack. And that's a very interesting looking racetrack there, Shane. So give the people at home a bit of an understanding of what they're looking at and the direction that they're heading in.
Yeah, so 12 turns running in a clockwise direction. So the red mark on the track there is the start-finish line, and then they'll run to the left of screen from there and down to the turn 1 and 2 chicane, and then around the back and into a very twisty section around the top. So it's a very technical track. A number of guys out there aren't fond of it simply because of how hard it is to get right. But it is a challenge, and we're going to love watching them. And we've got some big names in tonight with Shane Gisberg and Richie Stanaway both joining us.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, a couple of really cool names, and obviously both of those guys with Triple Eight Red Bull Australia, Shane obviously in the V8s, and Richie taking part in their GT3 series, I suppose you'd call it. Not too sure if it's got a different name than that, but yeah, awesome to see, and cool welcome back for Richie, top Kiwi guy. And we're going to see more of him probably in the future, because we've also got some other cool stuff coming up in the next week, and also some in a few months or so, haven't we, Shane?
Yeah, so starting on Sunday and then carrying on into next month, we have the Simplex Enduro Cup. So that was an event that had been being organised by another group. They had to cancel, so that left a lot of guys disappointed that they weren't able to run it. So we came to the rescue, picked it up, and we've got that kicking off with the Sandown 500 this Sunday. Number of guys already entered for that. Our grid's already full, but you can get yourself on the wait list if you're still interested in doing it in case people drop out. Otherwise, you can join us here on the or you can join me here on the broadcasting lounge. Potentially with a guest commentator joining us from Virtual Motorsport NZ. And
awesome.
Yeah, we'll have all the coverage of that race, and then next month, while I'm off making my way to the real Bathurst, you can catch Doug in the broadcasting lounge streaming the Bathurst 1000 as part of that same series.
Yeah, I'm taking part in doing that. So while you're over doing the away for the real thing, we'll be doing the virtual thing, and yeah, it might be keen to see if you've got the ability to pop into the lounge via the old Discord app and have a quick yarn and a hello. Would probably love to hear from you. But yeah, that's going to be an awesome once-in-a-lifetime opportunity trip for you, going over and doing that at Bathurst, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how our guys from Supercars NZ and our wider iRacing community here in New Zealand go with taking on round 2 of this special endurance series sponsored by Simplex. So thank you to Simplex for that. At the moment, I've got Richie up on screen because we were talking about him there before, and at the moment it looks like he's sitting P2 behind, I suppose you'd call him a teammate, SVG there, who's got P1, and the ever quick young gun as he's coming up through his own racing series in real life as well is Taylor Mitchell, son of Nick Mitchell from MRX. See Taylor there in the green jump flex entry. He's currently sitting in 3rd. he actually had a slightly faster time in practice than what he has at the moment in qualifying, so he'll be trying to stitch something together. And then the ever elusive Great White Shark himself, Bruce Tannock, Mag and Turbo entry, is sitting there in fourth. A lot of these guys are still in very heavy contention through the championship, and we look forward to seeing how they go tonight with, I believe you said earlier, Shane, the two 20-lap races?
That's correct, yeah. So a couple of 20 lappers coming up, so 60 k's each, making a total of 120 k's for the race night to make up the MRX 120 at Winton.
Yeah, awesome stuff, the MRX 120. And yeah, awesome shout out to MRX. So that's this man here, Nick Mitchell from MRX. There's his beautiful face there on screen for everyone to see at home. The man, the myth, the legend. He does a pretty good thing. Check him out on Facebook or get in touch with him via the interwebs. But I recommend them. I run one myself. I've got the MRX rig with the optional triple screen package, and it certainly does a great deal for making me comfortable while I'm racing and also while I'm here streaming. So thanks to Nick for your awesome product from MRX.
Yeah, we saw in the loading screen we got a good look, or the holding screen we got a good look at one of their very good sim chassis, and they are very good quality. So if you want something like what was pictured on that screen, make sure you go and hit them up and see what they can do for you.
I'll click back to it quickly, but you won't hear us talk about it, but you'll be able to have a quick look at the product there on the left that Nick has at home. So yeah, it's pretty much customizable in any way, shape or form. Mine's a beautiful aluminium, I think it's aluminium, about 4-5 mil thick kind of stuff. It's very rigid and very easy to go together. It was like overgrown Lego for adults. It took me a few hours to put together, but she's very solid. And next one, he's opted to go and hunt out the local sign writer and had his vinyl wrapped with his MRX business colours. And yeah, it's a very cool thing. Fit it with all different kinds of race seats and options of running different products, from your standard driving, geared driving, motored wheels, and pedal decks can be changed between your lower end market right through to your high end market ones. And again, with the wheel deck base, are changeable that between the lower to mid range right up to the more expensive direct drive units. So fully customizable to your needs. Yeah, like I said, I enjoy it. It suits my needs, and I think it looks quite unique.
Yeah, and of course MRX started out as a race car fabrication company, so they have manufactured a lot of roll cages for a lot of race cars in New Zealand. So, and over the COVID time, they pivoted into getting into the sim market when there wasn't a lot of people going racing. They wanted something to do, so they started building simulators. Nick was integral in making that move for them, and yeah, obviously with their history, that just goes to show you can trust what they're doing. If they can be trusted to fabricate roll cages, they can be trusted to make a good quality sim rig for you. So,
Well, that's it. And as I touched on before, Taylor Mitchell coming up through the ranks of entry level racing in the karts. This year, they're actually getting him into the BMW series, so they've been busy building him a new race car, a BMW race car, and obviously it's getting built in-house with an MRX cage and all the goodies and safety features. So that'll be a good one to keep an eye out for on their page for updates around that and see how they go. We are getting ready for the cars to start populating onto the grid as we speak. A few cars popping in there now. A couple more to go. So we had Shane Van Gisbergen qualify first over Richie Stanaway in second, then Taylor Mitchell third, Bruce Tannock fourth, no change. A welcome back to Hogan Shrimpton, who's been a bit MIA this season, but he's home at the moment and he's joined us to race. Young Jack Gronwald there in P6, sporting the new colours with the PRC and the PSR entry there. Spot 7 goes to Leon Weir with SDI over Simon Heddershire there in 8th, Eamon Young in 9th, and Daniel Nolan rounding up our top 10. Do you want to give us a run down the list of the rest of the names you've got there?
Yes, so Jason Cossey lines up 11th for Digital Bogans, Wade Michael 12th position, Nick Mitchell down in 13th for MRX, Sean McNamara 14th, Aaron Goodrick 15th, Blake Greenhill 16th, Tony Lynch 17th, Ryan Cotterill 18th, Daniel Heddershide 19th, Deon de Graaf 20th.
Yeah, and followed behind him is Stefan Adams from Simblax as well, and the man behind the sponsorship for this weekend's coming Sandown 500. Dane Northdirth there in 22nd, follows Shane McLeod, following up the rest of the pack in the MRX final entry there. A couple of the cars didn't make it to the grid, but we have the lights up and they're getting ready to go. We'll clear up the page. We'll see how these guys get away.
And Richie gets away very slowly, so Taylor and Bruce have both jumped on Shane Gisbergen's got to get a clear run into turn 1. Taylor getting super loose off turn 1 as they all pile down through turn 2. And we've got Jack Gromwood was on the outside of Bruce Tannock there, and he's managed to slide in front of Richie Stanaway, who got a very slow getaway. Bruce Tannock and Shane Gisbergen's off.
Shane off.
So both those big names not getting the starts they would have wanted. Richie not getting away off the grid well, and Shane running wide on lap 1. Similar place to where we saw. I've just had a complete brain fart there. I forgot the name.
Oh, and one of the dirty diesel cars gone around there. As they come around up towards turn 11.
Yeah, I didn't touch you. I know you do.
And
Hopefully it wasn't me again.
there you go. Taylor flashing his lights as he comes across the line just ahead of Bruce Tannock. Jack Gronwald holding off Richie Stanaway at the moment with an ever-charging Hogan Shrimpton behind him.
Yeah, and Richie putting plenty of pressure on Jack there. Jack Gromwald, a very talented young racer in his own right, competing in Formula Firsts over the summer series that finished up this year. And I believe he's got another season of those lined up, starting at the end of the year. As Richie's been able to get down the inside and makes his way back up into 3rd position.
Is Jack going to be able to hold him off coming down into the braking point here?
Nice space given there, and Richie just able to hold on the outside. That time spent battling has allowed Hogan Shrimpton to close up on the rear bumper of Jack. So, as we've got
Wade Michael.
Yeah, Wade Michael going off the track and into pit lane at the final corner. Meanwhile, the battle at the front, Taylor Mitchell just holding off Bruce Tannock at the moment.
At the moment, indeed, yeah. I'll try and find some information on current championship standings to see how tight the battle currently is between these two at the moment. But I'd say between these two, if Taylor's not careful, yeah, I was gonna say he's possibly gonna overdrive himself defending too hard from Bruce too soon. Bruce is doing a really, really mega job of completely filling up all of his mirrors at the moment.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, but the ideal situation for Taylor here would be just try and stay in his own rhythm, do his own thing. If Bruce is able to get up the inside, then just give him the room and let him go on with it. At the end of the day, there's no sense destroying your tyres this early in the race trying to fight for a position that you maybe don't have the pace to hold on to. But for now, he's held on, and I guess at the same time, as much as he's working his tyres trying to hold on to the position, by forcing Bruce to work to try and make a pass, he's going to be using up his tyres as well. And he's had a moment through turn one and just dropped back a little bit.
Did indeed. So let's have a look a bit down here. So Shane Van Gisbergen on a bit of a recovery drive at the moment. He was down to about 15th, I think, once he came back on the track after falling off on the grass. And he's back up to 9th spot now and currently following Aaron Goodrick just in front of him. So let's see if... Alright, we'll put that one up there for a minute.
Oh, and Shane firing it down the inside at turn 7. It's
Oh.
wide on the exit, but he's going to have the inside for 8, and there's plenty of action in behind them as well. Both Digital Bogans cars and Sean McNamara always around those two guys.
Yeah. He was...
Oh, Sean getting loose off the exit of turn 9 there. And that's going to see him just dropping behind Jason Cossey there. Well, meanwhile, Eamon Young and Daniel Nolan fighting very hard over 10th spot there.
Yeah, we've actually had a wee bit of time talking with Dan as well, Daniel Nolan there in the 000 entry, and he's felt at times that he wasn't quite prepared to move up from Div 2 into Div 1. As Sean McNamara just gets caught out with the guys braking into turn 1 there and tripping over the heels of those two guys.
The Macatap strikes again.
Yeah, as he's just said there quickly, he said it might have been my fault with a wee bit of moving under brakes, but I think it's just because those two were certainly in a hard battle back there, so it'll be an interesting one for those guys to approach the decision maker about. So the decision maker is our call-on person who is outside of the iRacing, well, outside of our Supercars NZ Racing League, and but has a high affiliation and background with a lot of different motorsport and on iRacing in particular. Very familiar with the rules, so we put it in his careful hands to review our racing incidents. So we'll know more about that one in the coming days. But at the moment, that's Sean McNamara in 10th spot. I'll give the people at home probably the bit of that. It's probably what's needed. I'll let you guys at home again also work out whether or not the picture that Sean's got there had anything to do with the previous incident. Muppet. I'm always good for a segue, aren't I?
Always.
Anyway, let's have a look around and see what else is happening. That's probably a bit too much of Sean McNamara for anyone to see at any given time. So Taylor's still doing a fantastic job holding off Bruce. I'd say Bruce definitely was also potentially overdriving his car, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. He was certainly working hard to try and find a way past, and as these guys have been fighting, Richie Stanaway has been able to cruise up to the back of them. We've just gone over the halfway mark, so I'm sure Richie will be keen to try and find his way around. None of these guys have pitted as yet, and they will all need to take a pit stop. Thought we might see Richie just shoot off to the left there, but choosing to carry on.
Halfway mark?
Oh, sorry. No, it's 20 laps, not 10. Sorry, ignore me. I've just completely lost my mind for a moment there.
That's all right.
Approaching the halfway mark.
Did you leave it in the back of Shane's car when he went across the track before?
I probably left it in the back of my truck at work today. It is pretty rubbish by the sounds of it.
Yeah, mate. You weren't one of the unlucky ones that caught out with the recycling truck catching fire in Auckland, were you?
No, thank God I haven't come across that, although it's actually quite a common issue in our industry with batteries in recycling bins and rubbish bins.
Yep, I bet. So that was Shane van Gisbergen there, taking spot 5 away from Simon Heddershaw there. Bruce is now quite at risk from Richie Stanaway behind him. Richie had also registered to join the Sandown 500 for the weekend. I was quite surprised to see his name in there, but he's obviously got the time available to do it and wants to get some laps under his belt before going there for the real life endurance Sandown 500.
Yeah, that's right. And his co-driver for the real one is signed up with us as well, Shane van Gisbergen, but they're not doing our virtual version together. He's actually doing it with his next year's teammate, Matt Payne.
So all very cool stuff. Leon Weir there, no positional change for him at the moment, still sitting there in 7th, but looking really solid. Like that, he's, apart from just there, so that's commentator's curse for you. Solid drive from Leon, actually pulling in onto the back of Hogan, but as we know from having raced with and against Hogan ourselves, certainly not an easy person to, well, 1, round up, and 2, get by.
Yeah, that's right. Very good racer, Hogan Shrimpton. Joined the Sylvan Motorsports team last year for the Le Mans 24 Hour on iRacing.
Yeah.
And Leon dives to the pits looking for the undercut.
Yeah. Just saw Shane getting ever closer here to Jack. What an awesome camera shot that is of the cars flying by coming out of turn 2 there.
Yeah, very
Let's
nice.
tidy that up for a second. We'll actually let a few more cars go by because that is a ripper of a shot, mate. Look at it, how beautiful it is looking into the distance at the mountains, the cars coming around turn 11 down there right at the back. You can see them joining out a pit lane right beside each other into the braking point of turn 1. Wade Michael getting loose, coming around there. That's fantastic.
Great spot.
Nick Mitchell there. Yum.
Great spot to hear the roar of the cars flying past as well. I can only hear that because I'd selected that camera as well on my screen, because unfortunately I can't hear the sound coming through the Discord stream that Doug's got up for me.
Yep. I like this camera here too. This is a cool one of the cars as they come around the infield around the tree.
Yes,
Great stuff. Wade Michael getting the hurry along here from Leon, who's come out of the pits, and they chase down Aaron Goodrick there in 12th, the Rosetown entry.
It's a nice tight little circuit, very compact, and while that makes it very challenging in a track that a number of the drivers don't quite like for its tightness, it makes it a very good viewing track. You can definitely get a number of cameras where you can see a few corners very well from one shot.
There's Nick. We'll jump on board with Nick actually, and it gives people a very good look of what it must be like right from what would essentially be driver's height, looking out across the top of the steering wheel and the dash. Haven't always got the, obviously we can manipulate it a wee bit, but haven't always got the cleanest view of everything, and it takes a lot to appreciate what vehicle you've got underneath yourself and to where the apexes are and how they line up across different, well, so it's panels and bodywork and stuff like that to know where your turning points are, eh?
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I didn't quite follow you there.
Just referencing, obviously, because the height of where the driver sits in the car doesn't often always reflect a lot of viewability of the track ahead of you, so you've got to reference different parts of the inside of the car to where your turn-in points are, trying to like meet apexes and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Now I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you don't always have the clearest view of what's in front of you. Obviously, like you say, we do have the ability to play around with the position of the driving camera. I suppose one of the fortunate parts about doing it in the virtual world, but obviously you try and remove it too much from the natural position and it just looks unnatural and a bit weird to drive from, so you do have to find a balance where you are still left with a little bit of uncertainty or a little bit of unsightedness as to where the apexes might be, and you do have to learn how to pick where the apexes are going to be and how you're hitting them from the best position you can get.
That's that was said a lot better than I said, sorry. So I can say we've had a couple of people comment tonight in the chat. So Harry Dodds has joined in at the beginning and he was watching the stream and he said he's keen for this Sandown 500 this week, lads. So I'm not too sure if Harry is entered or if he's just got someone that he's following, but give us the update on that one, Harry. We'll have a bit more of a chat about that if you get back to us. And Scott Pickering at home shouting on his best wishes for the one and only Balake, the property edge entry vehicle there, as we go for lap 12 of 20. There he is, car number 28.
Sorry, I was still riding on board with Nick Mitchell and he had a massive moment out of turn 2. Don't think it'll show up on replay data because he managed to gather it up.
Yeah, no, nothing's come up on there. That's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately sometimes. So, but yeah, so there's Balaki, and Scott's also informed us that we're obviously talking a whole lot of horse doo-doos when it comes to what you see out of the car, because he said unless you've got VR, then you can just see where you look. And that's very true, and that is a very totally different racing experience altogether, and certainly I think every person who is serious about racing and sim racing should at least try once, just to see what it's like. It is definitely full on, and it is a virtual reality. It's quite mesmerising how in depth it can be, how much you can see, just elevation changes and things like that aren't often replicated on screen looking out through the car. It's quite wild. I've never really been one to click with it, to make it work for me to be able to race faster. Maybe with more time and practice could get better. But yeah, sometimes it's just nice for a Sunday drive and to enjoy what's out there.
Yeah, I used VR exclusively for probably about a year until my headset broke down. It was just a cheap headset, so no great loss there money-wise, but yeah, really enjoyed it. Great immersion. Like you, probably not necessarily any faster on VR than on a screen, but definitely didn't slow me down either. And yeah, it is an amazing experience being able to just look around your cockpit and see the level of detail that the developers put into the in-car environment within the game. As we see, Bruce Hannock's managed to jump past Taylor Mitchell with the undercut, and Taylor now with fresher tyres putting plenty of pressure on.
Stay on the racing line there, Daniel. You come past
Yeah,
that.
I'll
Thank you.
I'll see if I can actually find that.
You're right, man. You got too much space.
I think it was just it may show as if you can find Taylor Mitchell leaving pit lane, you may see it.
And I didn't want to get.
Because I think it was a pit strategy thing. Because I did see Bruce dive into the pits from behind Taylor a few laps ago.
We'll have a quick squiz at this on the replay.
Blood on the water.
Actually, we'll just wait a minute, just in case Taylor can produce something here.
Bruce defending in the middle of the track. Taylor goes outside. Look,
Oh.
the search back and there's some contact, and and Rich has come through.
Taylor knew that he'd done that, so he's trying to give that one. He's trying to desperately give that one back. That's incredibly unlucky.
Yeah, and Bruce coming through now. Both guys dropping a number of spots, or a few spots, unfortunately. I think I saw a few more cars go past, some of them may have been lap traffic.
Yeah, there was. So Richie Stanaway's moved up into first with Shane Van Gisbergen behind him, and young Jack Grunwald's moved up into third. So Bruce is now holding on to fourth spot with Taylor there in fifth. It was quite unlucky. It looked like it could have been good for a move, but Bruce just very defensive and moved. I wouldn't say he moved across, but just there was his trajectory line through that corner. Taylor took the hard charge and tried to carry the speed up over the curb a bit, and I think he just came into the back of Bruce, who was just a little bit tighter on the corner and not quite ready to pull away as yet.
Yeah, I think Bruce did a good job of reading what Taylor was going to do, looking for the switchback, and parked the car on the apex to try and defend against that, and Taylor wasn't quite in a position to be able to adapt his trajectory once he realised that Bruce was holding the car very tight, and there's a little bump into the penultimate corner from Shane Van Gisbergen on Richie Stanaway there.
Yeah.
This is super tight battle as Richie's lost his bonnet after the contact with Bruce Tannock as he emerged into that crash zone. Certainly no fault of either Richie or Bruce, just the fact that Bruce was there, Richie was trying to pick a clean way through, but happened to be ended up in the same piece of track where Bruce was positioned.
Yeah, 100%. So here we go. So actually, Hogan Shrimpton's now got into this, and he's managed to get by Taylor Mitchell. Yeah, I was going to say Taylor was definitely wanting to be squeezing himself into there, or else he's going to find himself unstuck with an Aaron Goodrick trying to get down the inside of him. He's managed to slot back in.
As you see Taylor just going to the outside of turn 8 there, that's one thing I love about that sequence of corners is you can take a few different lines through them, and you can definitely try something different when you're in behind another car and take a wider entry in and a tighter exit out to get better momentum through that section of corners, and then try and set something out of turn 9 and into turn 10.
Oh gosh, sorry. That was it. Oh, where are we? I thought I'd just missed that. Sorry about that, folks. That was my my spastic trigger finger clicking there. So I thought I'd missed Hogan Shrimpton getting by Bruce Tannock there. Hogan's on a monster charge at the moment. Bruce defensive down there into turn 3.
Yeah, so Hogan very quick at the moment. I was wondering if maybe he'd pitted quite a bit later than some of the guys around him, but lap 10, Taylor also put a lap 10. Bruce was lap 7, so that's why Taylor's got a bit more pace than Bruce, where we saw Bruce putting the pressure on Taylor earlier in the race. But Generally, no massive offset from Hogan to the guys around him, and showing a good turn of speed here at the moment.
Yeah, so Hogan now with 3 laps to go, trying to chase down Simon Heddershot in front of him, who's in 4th. Oh, what just happened there? Bruce a bit slow out of the corner and got a heavy whack in the rear end, or did he blow his motor?
There was a puff of smoke there. I think he may have blown his motor.
It show. Oh no, that's. So let's have a scores here. Taylor Mitchell crashed, so that might have just been as he jumped into the back of Bruce. Oh no, that was just after. Oh, so he's Taylor late into the pits. Maybe he's had maybe got drive-through points. We're going to see very soon what's happened. And I can confirm Bruce jumped to pit lane, so there's Taylor driving all the way through, so he's racked up incident points worthy of a drive-through there. And Bruce Tannock has had to tow to the pits there. 2 laps to go, Shane Van Gisbergen with Richie Stanaway, these two still playing together. I'd say it's more Shane just playing with Richie. I'm trying to unsettle him coming down to the braking points, because I think we've seen Shane enough times now to realise that he carries a lot of speed when and where he needs to, and he could very easily glide by Richie. Could take a dive into the braking points there, but just still choosing to sit right in behind him. They're probably sitting in a chat group together, having a good old laugh.
Yeah, I'd say so. Certainly looks like they're just having a bit of fun. Like you say, it looks like Shane's got the pace to get by, but choosing to just sit in behind and give him a bit of a bump draft down the straights.
We'll see Dion there crawling around the track. So we're on with our Div 1 boys here. So driver standings at the moment. Ooh, here we go. So that's quite a hefty margin. So Bruce Tannock leads our Div 1 series by a whopping 864 points. So Bruce now obviously sitting out probably the remainder of this first race. Sean McNamara, second place on 694, with Wade Michael behind him in third with 668.
Yeah, and Sean's going to get a decent haul of points here tonight, sitting in 9th, with Bruce Tannock, as you say, sitting out the remainder of this one. So likely Bruce won't score any points for this one unless he can get back going and complete the minimum requirement to be classified for points.
I'd say he will probably have to come out to finish, but he's done. No, he might have been okay if he was a lap 17, so it's probably just a pass.
But he has to be running at the end anyway, right? Is that not the rule?
Well, that's I suppose that reading into the final point, yes, car has to cross the finish line. I wonder if him merely exiting pit lane would be enough to warrant that, as these guys are on the white flag lap now. Shane still being a nuisance.
Is he going to throw it down the inside here in the last couple of corners?
Lovable nuisance, I'm sure.
Now looks like he's going to let Richie have this one.
A bit of a run for the line.
Oh, they go side by side photo finish, but Richie just grabbed it by 0.014.
I think Shane actually lifted off there towards the end, and Jack Gromwald, great run, yep. Well and truly joyful celebration there. So he's going to have a tough battle on his hands starting the second race coming up. young Jack
I
Granwell.
thought he was going to
There.
line up for a drag run there.
Yeah, maybe towards the end. So where are we? What's happening there? Hogan coming across the line. Ryan, Blake. There we go. A few people there. So first place, yeah. So Richie over Shane, Jack in third, and Simon Hendershire there in fourth. So only two of those guys up towards the front from the beginning. The others coming up 3 and 4 spots respectively. Hogan Shrimpton, no change for him. So qualified P5, started P5. As all my data's just gone and changed itself there again. So
I can
I hope you saw the names.
read out the remainder of the top 10. So Hogan Shrimp
the remainder of the 5, yeah.
coming in 5th. Aaron Goodrick 6th, Leon Ware 7th, Jason Costi 8th,
Yep.
Sean McNamara coming home 9th, Wade Mitchell rounding out the top 10. Wade Michael, sorry, rounding out the top 10.
Wade Michael. So just say those last few positions again. So what was the difference between Sean and Wade?
Sean was 9th, Wade was 10th.
Oh, there we go. So those guys there sitting pretty close together in points in the championship. P2 and P3 in the championship standings so far. So Wade Michael will certainly be wanting to put on his game face for the second one and seeing if he can get by Sean and a few other cars and try and claw back some of those points against him if he's so inclined. But yeah, Bruce Tannock, obviously yes, a few points for that one possibly, but yeah, second race he's going to have to do some pretty nifty driving and some very calculated decisions on his pit stop on how to find possibly some clear air to warrant getting himself back up towards the front. So Bruce will be starting, excuse me, I believe right off the back there in about P20. Keep an eye on him. I imagine we'll see him for around a top 10 finish. So we've actually had so Xavier Simmons has finally turned up. He didn't run in the first race. Must have been off doing the dishes or something, but here he is, the All Ports Motorsport entry on behalf of his league, Fastlane Esports. So that's really cool to see Xavier come along to turn some laps for the race, and him and another guy who's running in Div 2 tonight are both entered for the Sandown 500 this weekend as well. So it'll be awesome to see how those guys go. We know they're certainly a formidable bunch in the GT3s as we've raced them multitudes of times, and we're often left wondering where they get their speed from. But yeah, the V8's a bit of a, I suppose you'd say, the odd one out for them. But nonetheless, good to be out there turning some laps, see how they go against the boys, get a bit of a refresher before the big race on Sunday. There's Dane in the 420 car and sporting a very cool new livery there for the PSR team. So they've actually gone full hog and given those cars a full-on dressing down, haven't they?
Yeah, completely different to what we're used to, so we'll have to get used to the new livery.
So we can actually see there in Dane's little picture the previous colour scheme. But Dane's actually gone out and set up his own, I suppose you'd call it a iRacing graphic tech support company called Dano's Sim Supports. I believe that's the title, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
And I think that can be seen on the front of his car, so I'll just try and get the this one here. So yeah, so there's Dano's Sim Supports there on the bonnet, and they've actually got their first real life sponsor there on the car on board with them now is Simblacks again. So it's really cool. They've got as he goes off. He did quite a cool thing with the sort of a flag on the roof. I believe is it a kiwi being boxed by a kangaroo or something, or I don't know. There was some sort of New Zealand Australia love kind of thing going on, so the different boys from their team can get on board with having a bit of variation there. Bit hard to see there from the back, but they've got all their PSR teammates across the back of the car, so I can see Jason Upton, Shane Newens, a few others. Dane's gone now. Oh, because we're at end of warm up. There we go. So enough jibber jabber there. But yeah, they're quite a strong team. I think of about 9 or 10 drivers, including young Jack, who finished third in that race. A couple other guys floating around here, and then a few more sitting down in Div 2. So I look forward to seeing what they do with the GT3 cars. Get some of their new liveries out there amongst that one. It'll be cool to see on Thursday, hopefully. If not, it'll be certainly for next season. But the cars are just getting stacked up again on the line. What do you reckon? Absolute cluster turn 1, 2 or 3? What's your pick?
All of the above.
Nice. All 20, all 19 cars around. Richie gapped it.
Yep.
So we're going to be lights up any second now. Here we go. Let's clear the board.
Green, green, green.
Shane away.
Much better start from Richie this time. He's able to hold on alongside it.
Oh.
Wow, that's chaos. That is absolute chaos. Oh,
Turns 1, 2 and 3, folks.
I wasn't far off, was I?
Nope. We're going to have to go back and review that afterwards, once this settles down a wee bit. So it wasn't Richie for the win, it was young Jack, and so he's moved up there into P1.
Yeah,
Aaron Goodrick follows him. Jason Cossey there in third, so big shake-up. So Hogan Shrimpton well down 14 spots. Nick Mitchell down 9. Ryan Cottrell down 12. Mega. Taylor Mitchell from towards the back, up 11 spots.
Wow.
Shane down 8, sitting there in 10th.
Should have seen me coming.
Looked a bit like Richie and Shane were heading into turn 1, playing a bit of game of chicken. If you break first, no, you break first. Oh shit, we both break too late.
Yeah. And then there was just no stopping it once it got to the grass.
Sean McNamara running in P8 just behind Taylor Mitchell. And Leon Ware backing out and letting Taylor and his teammate Sean McNamara go past. So maybe a bit of a slowdown there picked up at turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, potentially. Either that or he just running a little bit untidy and trying to get the car balanced up again. Oh, Macca.
Oh, speaking of untidy. Oh, and he's almost looped it on the grass as well. Does well to get it back under control and it looked like it was going to go around on the grass.
Sean dropping down there into P19. So just watching Taylor Mitchell here. So after getting a drive-through penalty in the last race, finishing down the order, he's back up into 6th spot already, now 5th, following the guys he was racing before. But he's clear of Bruce Tannock, who's sitting down here in P16 at the moment. who I think might have just been holding him up a touch during that first race, to be fair. So Taylor chasing Richie chasing Simon, and Shane Van Gisbergen chasing all three of those guys there at the moment.
Yeah, so this is going to be very interesting to watch. Taylor Mitchell in between Richie and Shane as all three of them look to make their way back up through the field.
So let's go. My God, there was so much data there. Let's go back and try and unpick a wee bit of what happened there.
As Shane fires down the inside on Taylor Mitchell. Taylor able to hold on and is going to have the inside for the last couple of corners.
Very good run there.
Shane going for the switchback though and able to get down the inside for turn 12 and gets the job done. So nice pass by Shane.
And it's when you see something like that take place, really puts it into perspective of you wonder why he was playing games with Richie as long as he was in the first place, when he can make a move stick like that after 2 corners.
Yeah, 100%.
Rightio, so let's try and unpack this. This is Shane Van Gisbergen and Richie Stanaway going off track, turn 1 at half. Oh, okay, I was going to say at half the speed. But that's gone all the way back really to the start. This is probably not too bad. So let's just let it play out. Let's get a bit of an open view here. So Simon there, and then we can click on Simon here to show him. We can see some of the stuff at the back there. So Ryan Cottrell has gone around and parked it right there in the middle of everyone. That's Dion coming back onto the track. Hogan's gone straight into the inside wall over there, and then actually that wasn't too bad from everyone. And then just down here, so Nick Mitchell, bit untidy, rolling back onto the track a wee bit. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so what I do like from all of that is, from what I saw, all the guys who looped it did a great job of holding the brake and making sure they weren't rolling back into the pack and giving everyone a good chance to actually pick their way around, and not too much secondary contact as a result of all that.
So actually just here quickly, so this is, so Nick very out of shape, just picking his way through some people. And then he's had a, there we go, yes, a tap there from, I believe, Tony Lynch there in Dirty Diesel entry. Shane Van Gisbergen very lucky not to hit him at that point. There we go. Let's go back and see some racing. And what a battle we've clicked onto here.
Yeah, Richie leading the way through down the inside on Simon Hedgerside, and Simon's going to drop 3 spots in a couple of corners here, although he might just hold off Taylor Mitchell for now as they come on the run down towards turn 1. He's going to have the inside for turn 1. And manages to get back ahead of Taylor Mitchell through 1 and 2. But Taylor going to look down the inside now into 3 and gets that job done there.
Well, there we go. So here we go, a bit further down through the grid order. Let's move away from the front of the pack. Wade Michael chasing Leon, not to be mistaken with his teammate of Sean McNamara, who's sitting down the grid a wee bit further at the moment. So this is exactly what Wade Michael wanted to play into his hands. So he's currently sitting about 7 spots ahead of Sean there at the moment. 8 spots, correction. And the more he can put in between him and Sean will only play into his hand for the championship. So do it cleanly, get by, be good.
Yes, I was about
Too
to query what happened to Sean, but then I remember we did, of course, see him off into the grass and looped it a little bit earlier, so that explains why he's dropped down the order.
Indeed. Hogan coming through for his stop now. Let's just we'll stay on board with them. Stay on board with Hogan and see how he goes getting into his pit bay, but
he's done a good job of burying it into the tyres on the way in, that's for sure.
That's unlucky. Commentator's curse has struck a few today, hasn't it?
It has. It's all your fault,
So,
Doug.
Yeah, I know. So, good thing I wasn't watching this guy. He'd hate me forever.
Half expecting to see him overshoot the box there.
Oh,
Wade Michael trying to give room to Daniel Nolan on the pit exit there and just taking a whole heap of curb down at turn 1 uncertain of the car, but did a good job to get
I don't think
up.
he was trying to give him. I don't think he was trying to give him any room. I think he was well and truly trying to claim his spot. That's what I got from it.
Well, yes, he was trying to claim his spot, but he was trying to make sure he left racing room as well, and that's why he got all over the curb.
Yep. Goodness me. And just in behind those couple of guys following Daniel at the moment is Bruce Tannock. He's always there, isn't he? He's always floating somewhere.
Yeah, he's never far away from the action as old Brucey.
Tony Lynch and Ryan Cottrell coming into the pits now, and ahead of them, about to make their stop on the dime. Done. Leon Ware.
Going for the bling with the gold wheels.
Yeah. So Leon's actually done. Oh, yeah. So Leon's done the fastest pit stop there out of anyone else on track with a 9.3. Next car from that was Bruce Tannock with a 9.43, and then Wade Michael with a 9.5. Everyone else pretty much there sitting in the tens. So it looks like Leon had a good handle on how much fuel he needed to drop in there to finish off his race while the car was sitting there getting its tyres done. Very good job. Let's have a squiz and see what else is happening out there. Aaron Goodrick getting stalked by Shane Van Gisbergen. Jack's actually making a superb effort up here at the moment with clear air. Look at this.
Yeah, 4 seconds clear of Aaron Goodrick at the front.
So I see Jack's running the number 1 on his car. I'm pretty sure he hasn't had an official championship P1 podium season with us in either the V8s or GT3s, has he?
No, I've got a feeling what's happening there is he doesn't have a number assigned in the league, and he probably doesn't have a preferred number selected for the car, so it just assigns him the first available number.
There you go. Either that or it's a premonition of good things to come forward for him in life.
Could be.
Oh, Shane's... I reckon Shane's car just disconnected there. He's jumping on and off the... let's go back to Aaron, because... No, see? No Shane. No Shane around him.
You're on dial-up, Shane.
Has someone's just queried if Shane's running dial-up?
That was Aaron asking that question.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, Shane's got by. I don't know where he's...
Maybe he's
I'm pretty sure...
Maybe he's got a blink button so that he can disappear to drive past car in front.
I don't know. I don't know why he needed to waste it on Aaron Goodrick, but all good. Either that or he's got a spelling error in his team name there that says USO Motorsport. Maybe that's supposed to say UFO Motorsports. He's got some alien trickery going on for sure. So SVG up to P1 magically. Still yet to stop. We've got Balake there in third spot, not being chased by anyone in position. I believe that's the is that the real 28 in behind him?
It is.
It is. Do you want to know something funny?
Always.
Sean sat in the pits for 49 seconds.
Oh, as Blake's just had a bit of an off on the way into the pits as well.
Just managed to recover it, has he?
He has. It is showing on my incident logger as I went off track.
Yep. Quick stop. 10 flat. There we go. I thought it was fast, but not as fast as some of the others out there. So Shane Van Gisbergen, the only one out there at the moment, still yet to stop. Balake getting right back into the thick of it here. Don't give them too much room, mate. It's dusty out there. Come across to defend that line. Yeah, there we go. See, good bit of racecraft there from Blake, and actually caused Eamon to check up a wee bit and allow Stefan Adams to glide through too. So a hard track on the rejoin from pit lane.
So Richard's just made his second stop of the night and coming to a
16
total
seconds worth.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's his total pit time or his most recent pit time.
It says pit time, so I'm assuming it'd be the most recent one.
I didn't see if it reset to 0 when it came in. I was just looking for his name and then noticed he was in the pits and clicked on him as he was already in the box. So, not too sure.
You got your stopwatch ready?
No.
Oh.
Do your Mississippis again.
2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. It's clearly a 16-second Mississippi stop. How crazy.
Yeah, so very interesting.
Very, very interesting, yeah.
He's only got one
Even
incident
young.
point, so his first, that rules out his
Okay,
first
yep.
stop being a drive-through.
Evan Young getting by Stefan there. Stefan getting back down on the inside. Hogan squeezing on through. Great bit of battles. Awesome stuff. And there's more of it happening up here. Daniel Nolan with Leon Weir chasing him. Wade Michael doing his thing sitting in P10. So, yeah, actually that it has actually really worked out in Wade's favour tonight, as he's just now been rounded up by Balake.
Yeah, that was a very strong authoritative move from Blake there, but Wade firing back in this time with his own authoritative move, but too deep on the brakes, goes off. Blake having to go off as well to avoid contact. But certainly Wade paying the heavier price there, tied on the rejoin, but just managed to leave enough space.
I was going to say, that, again, commentators curse, so I was going to say that was really working in Wade's favour, but he's now dropped down from 11th spot to 17, and Sean's only 4 away from him in 21. Haven't seen much of Mr. McLeod this evening, MRX entry, so I'm struggling with it. Setup's probably a bit backwards on the Mustang, to be fair. This man here sitting down in 19th has the fastest time on track at the moment with a 119.38. Behind him is SVG with a 19.7 as he comes in to get a splash of gas and some fresh tyres. So potentially watch and see that that time fall away. Is a 10.6 second stop, so certainly not the fastest. And we'll see where he comes out in the pecking order of things.
Jack's just
Well
coming
clear
from
there
turn
in
two
second
now.
spot. So Aaron Goodrick sitting behind him, 3 seconds behind, and Jack clear of Shane van Gisbergen by 3.2. 6 laps to go. I'd say Shane's probably going to have enough to claw his way back onto the back of him.
Yeah, 4 lap pressure tyres for Shane and 6 laps to go, so I think Shane's going to probably make pretty light work of this, but of course he has to get there first and get the job done with no mistakes, so we'll wait and see how that goes.
That's it, and this is coming from the man that we saw go off on turn 1 at the beginning of the race, so anything could happen. Jack's had a really good run tonight, and I'm sure if he does get rounded up at the last minute, having a battle with Shane van Gisbergen and finishing in P2, probably still go down as a monumental time in racing as far as any sim racing goes. Still just as cool, but if he can hold him off till the end, it'll be even better.
Absolutely, and we can see Sean McNamara lap car about to get involved in this, so we'll see how easy Sean makes it. Sean's an advocate for, as much as the lap car needs to make room for the lead lap car, he also doesn't have to completely jump out of his way and ruin his own lap to let him by, so you can see Sean continuing to run to his own rhythm and yeah, doing exactly that, not just ruining his own race. He's focusing on hitting his own marks, and you can see there Jack gets down the inside and he makes room, lets him go, and that's exactly how it should be done.
So now we see what kind of attitude he has towards Shane van Gisbergen here, and I'd say he'd probably make it easy for him to move out of the way into the braking point coming down here. Hasn't yet, but again, enough room there to keep on the money as he will look at probably doing it now, I'd say. So there we go, quick tap on the brakes early, clear indicator there to Shane that he's giving him the corner entry, and that's what we want here, Supercars NZ. Nice respect amongst the drivers, having a bit of fun. As Shane van Gisbergen has well and truly now taken command of the fastest lap on track, now doing an 18.95, as he is very close to clawing in Jack Gromwald now. That 3.3 second gap that he had coming out of the pits is now down to 0.4 of a second and dropping. But further down here we've got Taylor Mitchell getting very close with Aaron Goodrick for 3rd spot as well, so we'll just keep an eye on that in the background. Lap 16 of 20, Shane's done enough to get alongside him here. Jack could try and squeeze him across a little bit further, give himself a bit more of an open entry coming in. Good switch back across there. Again, sitting on the outside, and I think that was the kind of move that Taylor was trying to do earlier on Bruce.
Bit of a touch there, but both get away with it. Just a little bit of Robbins racing, and Shane able to take the spot. Yeah,
Jack just closing that margin down a little bit, and wasn't of any fault there to SVG, and nice that he's been able to hold on to it. And now Jack can put a bit of pressure on or learn something from the Grandmaster. Don't often get opportunities like this, but sometimes following some around the track might give you a bit more of a different understanding of where you can be strong. But Jack's certainly thrown it still at Shane. He's not wanting to let that gap margin disappear, and he was pretty aggressive up over those curbs. So
Yeah, he's still sitting right there, still under the rear wing,
and
so
mm,
showing very good
and enough
pace.
and enough so that Shane even took the tight line through the apex there to make sure that Jack wasn't considering a look in. And this is great. This is an awesome battle here from Jack on Shane. I'm sure Shane's loving it a wee bit. He enjoys people trying things, having looks.
Richie Stanaway's crashed, and I
Richie
think he's
through.
going back to pit lane.
No, he's driving through it at the moment, but it is coming up for what will be his third. Actually, he might be just doing a drive through. It looks like he's already had 3 stops there at the moment. Jack's got by Shane.
Wow, well done, Jack.
And the trade of the position back again.
Maybe Richie's just leaking some fuel out there or something, because he hasn't racked up the incident points.
He's on his he's just at his 4th stop now. He's on qualifying fuel, is he? It just hasn't changed it. Changed the setup. It's locked. I can see there from the chat there again, Shano. Andy Upton from PSR has said evening, gents. So shout out to you there, Andrew. I hope your night is going well. Good to see you along here supporting your fellow drivers, and hope Jack's doing the PSR team proud at the moment by absolutely sticking with Shane here for the last couple of laps of the race. Taylor still hasn't been able to make good on getting by Aaron Goodrick. Still a close margin, as we see there, still close, but certainly hasn't been able to do enough to get back into it. And Bruce Tannock's made absolute poo-poo of my word. I thought top 10, but he's currently sitting in P5, up 16 spots. So look at this. This is fantastic from Jack. We'll see here. Shane will definitely fire it out wide, then turn it back in nice and tight again. Nice drive out of that corner. It's these next sequences of corners where Jack could potentially look at sliding down and underneath, but just a little bit squirrely under brakes, and Shane definitely wouldn't have let him have that one on that occasion.
Notice though Jack taking the slightly wider entry into turn 9, so sacrificing a little bit of turn 8 to open up the run through turn 9. Not quite enough to be able to get close enough to have a go, but he's certainly right behind again coming off the final corner, and he's going to get a good draft down the front straight. We'll see if he can do it
as
in
Shane's
turn
gone
1.
defensive.
Goes to the outside. Looking to get the better run through turns 1 and 2. Looks like Shane just doing enough though.
He's definitely driving defensively, because that last lap there from Shane was a 20.7, so quite a wee way off his fastest there for the night on the 18.9. It just proves what type of race Shane's having to deliver now, while Jack's putting this kind of pressure on. And not to freak you out too much, but I've had another person message through. Did you know that you had a son?
Do elaborate?
An Irish son.
Is this Daniel Whitnell by any chance?
Hi, Uncle Doug and Daddy Shane from your Irish son.
Oh, thanks, Daniel. So Shane's going to hold on for the win. But a great battle to the line between Shane and Jack Ronwald.
That was mega. That was certainly something. So well done, Shane. Well done, Jack. Certainly proud of yourself there, buddy. That was mega.
Oh, no. Oh, thank fuck for that.
I don't know what Leon was talking about there in the background, but I suspect he very nearly grossly just tried to destroy himself or wet his pants. So
Got sick of saying 0.5 behind.
the guys having a good chat to each other. Aaron Goodrick rounding out P3. Bruce Tannock up 17 spots there at the end to finish in P4 with Taylor Mitchell behind him up 14 spots. Simon Heddershire down to 2. Jason Cossey there up 1 into 7th. Daniel Nolan up 7 into P8. Great run. Leon down 2 into 9 with Blake Greenhall finishing up there on P10. Now let's go to the start-finish cam here.
3, 2, 1, go.
Nice work, Leon.
Not bad for a disco.
Oh my gosh, look how bumpy that road is.
Well done, boys. Well done, Shane.
And finishing it in style. Well done, boys. Anyone else lining up? I think too many people have forgotten about the drag strip.
Looks that way.
What's happening?
I'll
Yeah.
bet there's plenty of drag racing action going on down in Div 2.
Yeah. Oh god, there's Black. There we go. So, Taylor Mitchell pretty much the only one driving it back to the pits. Shane McLeod desperately waiting for a mate. Left, right, out. Well, that was a fun evening, and some awesome racing all round from everyone really. Yes, the start was a bit of a shambles. Looked like a bit of pretty bad luck there for Xavier Simmons getting out of that one pretty early, and also Nick Mitchell, MRX, got caught up in the dramas of that. Obviously, just unable to recover with the damaged car. So yeah, sorry to hear that one, Nick. Congratulations to our top 10, and for our guys in the championship. It'll be interesting to see how the points shake up moving forward into next week. Looks for that one. Shane, have you got some info for us? Next couple of races happening this week for Supercars NZ?
Yeah, so tomorrow night TCRs will be heading to Virginia International Raceway. So that will be some
Great.
very exciting racing around there. And then the GT3s head to Le Mans.
Oh, perfect. And I actually, I should have remembered that one. Why is that a special one for the GT3s?
Well, not only is it round 10 of
10?
our championship, it is also round 2 of our endurance championship. So a nice long race coming up there.
Yeah, it is. So if you enjoy listening to Wayne and Sean and the commentary team in the broadcasting lounge on Thursday night for the GT3s, well, you're going to get probably about an extra 25, maybe 30 minutes of hearing their lovely voices. If you don't, well, you're going to have to put up with it for about another 25 to 30 minutes. You'll probably see a bit of Shane and myself out there cutting some laps, unless we're otherwise unavailable to attend. And then moving forward, we've still got our end of week Piston Cup championship practice race on Friday night, and then again the real deal on Saturday night. Unknown location because Nick doesn't choose to pre-tell us where that's happening. And then the big event on Sunday, which Shane is very much looking forward to being involved in. And yeah, again, big thank you to Simblax for the continued support around that. Keep an eye on our Supercars community page for some updates around some prizes and bits and pieces that are going, along with certain things to do with that race on the weekend. Come along, like all the pages, jump onto YouTube, like and follow the Broadcasting Lounge so you get the update when the race goes live at about 11:45, I think you said, wasn't it, on Sunday?
That's correct, yes.
Cool. So, and race live going at 12 o'clock. So that's going to be a super awesome event, and then we've got the next big one following up from that about a month later at Bathurst, the Bathurst 1000, 161 laps of that, approximately close to about 5 hours worth of streaming. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. But I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves tonight for the All Ports Motorsport Supercars NZ Round 9 V8 Championship with our Div 1 drivers. This is Doug. It's been a pleasure with you, Shane. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you all again later on.
Cheers, Doug. And Daniel, go to work.
Yeah.